What makes a film good? We all know that some films are just better than others, but what makes it good? Is it the script, the performances, the explosions? What sets the masterpieces apart from the rest? Personally, I think it has to do with how well a film connects with its audience. So when you have a film like Parasite connecting with people all over the world, what you have on your hands is another masterpiece. Welcome. My name is Matt, and this is Understanding Cinema. Parasite is one of my most favorite movies that I've ever seen. Bong Joon-Ho is a visionary director with an incredible filmography, from Memories of Murder to Snowpiercer to Parasite and the upcoming Mickey 17, which I very much am looking forward to. But of all his movies, I think the one I connect the most with is Parasite. Not just from an entertaining level, but from a more philosophical and thematic level as well. In this video, I don't want to just explore the story, but I also want to dive deeper into the socioeconomic relationship that the two families in this movie have between each other, as well as a bunch of other aspects about the film. So let's dive into it, and we'll figure out why this movie won Best Picture, as well as 3 other Oscars, because it is no coincidence. But first, let's do a quick recap. Spoilers, obviously. The film centers around the Kim family, who live in a small, cluttered basement apartment in a poor neighborhood in Seoul, South Korea. The family consists of, and excuse my pronunciation, I'm not going to get these right the first time, but the family consists of father Ki Taek, mother Chung Suk, the son Ki Woo, and daughter Ki Jung. They struggle to make ends meet and survive through menial jobs, such as folding pizza boxes. One day, Ki Woo's friend Min, who is leaving to study abroad, offers him a job as an English tutor for the wealthy Park family's daughter, Da-hai. Ki Woo sees an opportunity to improve his family's financial situation and forges a diploma to make it seem as though he has a university education. He then meets with Mrs. Park, who hires him on the spot. Ki Woo slowly starts to infiltrate the Park household, and eventually, he manages to get his entire family hired by the Parks under false pretenses. Ki Jung becomes an art therapist for the Park's young son Da-song, while Ki Taek and Chung Suk take on the roles of the Park family's driver and housekeeper. As the Kims become more deeply entrenched in the lives of the Parks, they start to discover secrets about the family and their home. They also begin to exploit their employers' naivety and lack of awareness to their advantage. However, events take a dark turn when the previous housekeeper, who was fired by the Parks, returns to the house and reveals a secret that threatens to expose the Kims' deception. The ensuing chaos leads to a series of events that expose the deep class divide between the two families and ultimately lead to a tragic conclusion. Parasite is a critically acclaimed movie that explores themes of social inequality, class conflict, and the lengths that people will go to escape poverty. The film is a unique blend of genre from comedy to thriller to drama and social commentary. It truly is a standout film in contemporary cinema today. Bong Joon-Ho is a filmmaker who is known for his powerful and incisive critiques of social and economic issues within contemporary society. Throughout his career, he has consistently addressed a wide range of socioeconomic problems in his films, often exploring the complex and often fraught relationships between individuals and the larger systems of power that shape their lives. One of the most prominent themes in Bong Joon-ho's movies is the idea of social inequality and class struggle. Many of his films, including Parasite, Snowpiercer, and Memories of Murder, center on characters who are struggling to survive in a society that is deeply divided along the lines of wealth and privilege. These characters often find themselves pushed to the margins of society, forced to contend with poverty, violence, and exploitation. Bong Joon-ho's films frequently explore the corrupt and oppressive systems that perpetuate social and economic inequality. In Parasite, for example, the Kim family's attempts to improve their situations are stymied by the rigid social hierarchy that governs their society. They are constantly reminded of their lower status, and their efforts to move up the social ladder are met with hostility and suspicion. Bong Joon-ho's films offer incisive and thought-provoking critiques on the socioeconomic systems that we shape our lives around. Through his characters and stories, he shines a light on how power structures tend to operate in our societies, and ways that which individuals can resist or challenge the system in order to create a more just and equitable world. At its core, Parasite is a film about social inequality and class struggle. As the Kims insinuate themselves into the Park family's lives, they begin to realize how wide the gulf is between the haves and the have-nots. The Parks live in a beautiful, modernist mansion with a large garden and view of the city. They have expensive cars and designer clothes, and they hire servants to do their bidding. The Kims, on the other hand, live in squalor and work low-paying, menial jobs. The Kim family represents a common struggle of working-class families everywhere, trying to climb the social ladder and achieve a better life for themselves. The American dream, which promises equal opportunity and upward mobility to all, is a driving force for them in their quest for a better life. At the beginning of the film, the Kim family is struggling to make ends meet, living in a cramped and squalid basement apartment. They are all looking for an opportunity to make money. When Kiwoo is offered a job tutoring the daughter of the wealthy Park family, it seems like the chance they've been waiting for. The Kim family members all put on a facade to fit into the world of the Parks, hiding their working class origins and pretending to be more cultured and educated than they really are. They're willing to go to great lengths to maintain their charade, even if it means deceiving and manipulating the Parks. The Kims see the Park family as a way to escape their own poverty and to live a life of luxury. They fantasize about what it would be like to live in a beautiful, modernist mansion and to have all the resources that money can buy. In many ways, they are chasing the same version of the American dream that has been sold to people all over the world. The idea that, with hard work and determination, anyone can achieve success and prosperity. However, as the film progresses, the Kims realize that the dream they are chasing is not what it seems. They're not free to be themselves in the Park family's world, and must constantly maintain their facade in order to avoid being exposed. They begin to see the dark side of the Park's wealth and privilege, realizing that their comfortable lives are built on the exploitation of the lower class. Ultimately, the Kim family's goal to achieve an American dream through the Park family ends in tragedy. The film suggests that the American dream isn't achievable for everybody, and that the pursuit of wealth and status can sometimes have devastating consequences. On the other side of the spectrum is the Park family, who are portrayed as wealthy and privileged, living in a beautiful mansion with all the resources that they could want. However, the film suggests that their comfortable lives are built on the exploitation of the lower class, and particularly the Kim family. One example of this exploitation is seen in the way the Park family treats their previous maid. The Parks treat her as subservient and expendable, with no regard for her well-being or dignity. The Parks are completely oblivious to the suffering of their workers, and their wealth and privilege allow them to treat people as disposable objects. Another example of exploitation is seen in the way the Parks view the Kim family. The Parks see them as inferior, and they are condescending and patronizing towards them. Despite this, they rely on the Kims to do their dirty work, such as driving them around and performing menial tasks. The Kims are viewed as expendable and replaceable, and the Parks do not care about the consequences of their actions. The Parks do not care about the Kims' feelings or opinions, and they use their wealth and privilege to get what they want. The Park family represent the exploitative nature of the upper class, who are able to maintain their wealth and privileges at the expense of the lower classes. The film highlights the way in which the system is perpetrated through ignorance and indifference of those in power, who view people as disposable and ignore their suffering. This film is incredibly unique. It defies easy categorization, blending different genres together seamlessly to create a unique and compelling viewing experience. The film incorporates elements of dark comedy, thriller, drama, allowing it to explore complex themes and ideas in a way that is both entertaining and thought-provoking. One way that the film blends genres so effectively is through its use of tonal shifts. The film moves seamlessly between moments of dark humor, tense thriller sequences, and poignant dramatic moments, creating a sense of unpredictability that keeps the audience engaged. The tonal shifts in Parasite are a significant contributor to its success in genre blending. The film's ability to move between different moods and emotions reflects the complexity of its central themes. The film's dark humor is often used to underscore the absurdity and tragedy of the class struggle that the characters are experiencing. The thriller sequences are not only suspenseful, but also provide commentary on the lengths that people will go in order to survive a capitalist society. The dramatic moments are particularly poignant because of the contrast with the lighter moments that come before and after them. By blending these different genres, Parasite creates a narrative that is incredibly engaging. The visual language throughout the film is another important aspect of its genre blending. The film's cinematography, camera angles, lighting, and color schemes all work together to create a sense of unease and tension. The use of close-ups and extreme close-ups, for example, often create a sense of claustrophobia that underscores the characters' experiences of being trapped by their social and economic circumstances. The use of dark and muted color palettes also contributes to the film's sense of bleakness and despair. The visual language in Parasite not only enhances the film's genre elements, but also helps to tie them together into a more cohesive narrative. Finally, Parasite is able to blend genres so effectively because of its strong thematic through-line. The film's central themes of class struggle and inequality are present in every scene, tying the various genre elements together and giving the film a sense of completeness. The thematic through-line in Parasite is arguably the most important aspect of its genre blending. The central themes of class struggle and inequality are present throughout the film, and they serve as the foundation upon which all of the film's different genre elements are built. By tying all of the film's different genre elements back to these central themes, Parasite creates a narrative that is both entertaining and meaningful. It also helps the film to transcend the limitations of any one genre and become something truly unique and impactful. One thing that I particularly like about this movie is the way that it uses its visuals as motifs for the underlying themes. The set design, cinematography, and other visual motifs allow the audience to connect to the themes on a more subconscious level, allowing them to understand the story in a much deeper way. One of the biggest uses of a physical motif throughout the film is the use of staircases. The film centers on the Kim family, who live in a cramped basement-level apartment and struggle to make ends meet in a society that is rife with social inequality and rigid class hierarchies. Staircases are used to underscore these themes, serving as a symbolic representation of the social and economic barriers that divide the characters. We see the Kim family descending a long flight of stairs to get to their basement apartment, which is situated beneath a wealthy neighborhood. The physical distance between the Kims and the rest of society serves as a visual metaphor for their social and economic isolation, highlighting the vast gulf that separates them from the Park family. The Kim family's ascent up the stairs is a struggle, as they must climb higher and higher to reach their destination, emphasizing the difficulties they face to try to improve their position in society. This staircase serves as a visual representation of the social and economic ladder that the Kims are trying to climb. The staircase is also a symbol of the Park family's power and status, emphasizing their position at the top of the social hierarchy. Throughout the film, the use of staircases underscores the rigid and inflexible nature of social class and hierarchy. The Park family's home is full of grand, sweeping staircases that emphasizes their wealth and privilege, while the Kim's family's cramped apartment is situated at the bottom of a long flight of stairs, underscoring their lowly position in society. The characters are constantly moving up and down these stairs, navigating the physical and social barriers that separate them from one another. In addition to serving as a visual metaphor, staircases also play a role in the film's exploration of deception and illusion. The Kim family's infiltration of the Park family's home is built on a web of lies and deceit, and the use of staircases serves to underscore the way that appearances can be deceiving. The staircase in the Park family's home creates the illusion of a perfect and harmonious household. However, beneath the surface, tensions are simmering, and the characters are all struggling to maintain their position in a society that is built on deception and inequality. Another great example is the way the film uses architecture and spatial design. The film's setting is in a city that is divided by wealth and social class, with the wealthy living in luxurious homes on the hilltops and the poor living in cramped and run-down apartments in the lower parts of the city. The spatial design of the film reflects this division, with the wealthy living in spacious and opulent homes that are designed to impress and intimidate, while the poor live in small and claustrophobic spaces that are more for functionality and efficiency. The Park family's home is a symbol of their wealth and power, with its clean lines and minimalist aesthetic emphasizing their status and sophistication. In contrast, the Kim family's basement apartment is dark and cramped, with a maze-like layout that emphasizes the family's isolation and desperation. The camera is often positioned low to the ground, emphasizing the low ceilings and the sense of confinement. The apartment is cluttered with old furniture and appliances, and there is a pervasive sense of decay and neglect. While in contrast, the Park's house is portrayed as bright, airy, and spacious, with large windows and open spaces that allow the natural light to flood in. The camera is often positioned high, emphasizing the high ceilings and the sense of expansiveness. The house is beautifully decorated with expensive furniture and artwork, and everything is meticulously clean and well maintained. The contrast between the two living spaces is a visual metaphor for the difference in social class between the two families. The Kim family is struggling to survive in a cramped space, while the Parks live in luxury and comfort. The production design and cinematography creates a powerful sense of contrast that emphasizes the vast gulf that exists between these two social classes. The use of architecture and spatial design is directly connected to the film's exploration of power and control. The Park family's home, being so spacious and open, represents a theme of power and control over the rest of society, and especially over the Kim family. The film also employs fantastic uses of symbolism. One of the most prominent symbols throughout the movie is the use of water, which is used throughout the film to reflect a lot of the characters' emotional states and the turning points in the story. At the beginning of the film, the Kim family is shown living in a cramped basement where they are constantly exposed to the elements, including the rain. The rain is used to reflect the family's poverty and vulnerability, as they struggle to keep their home dry and free from the elements. However, as the family's fortunes change and they begin to infiltrate the Park family's home, the rain takes on a new meaning. It is used to symbolize the family's growing power and sense of control, and they become more confident in their ability to deceive and manipulate the Parks. And as the narrative unfolds, the rain becomes increasingly intense and violent, reaching its climax during one of the film's most tense scenes. This intense rainfall is used to reflect the characters' emotional states, as they confront the consequences of their actions and the deep-seated class divisions that underlie their relationships. The rain is also used to reflect the film's exploration of chaos and disorder, as the characters' carefully constructed deceptions begin to unravel, and the true nature of their relationships is exposed. Overall, the use of symbolism in Parasite is a powerful tool used to reflect the film's philosophical themes and meanings. The rain is a particularly effective symbol as it is used to reflect the characters' emotional states and their changing fortunes, and the underlying tensions that define their relationships. Through its use of symbolism, the film creates a complex and nuanced exploration of the societal and philosophical themes that underlie its narrative, offering a powerful commentary on the human condition and the complex relationships that define our lives. Now, let's talk about the title, Parasite. The title Parasite is a perfect representation of the relationship between the Kims and the Parks, and not just as a one-way relationship. The Parks are just as parasitic of the Kims as the Kims are of the Parks. The film explores the idea of parasitism not only as a metaphor for social and economic inequality, but also as a reflection of the human condition itself. From the opening shot of the film, in which the Kim family sits in a dingy basement apartment, to the climactic moments that play out in the wealthy Park family's mansion, the film uses the concept of parasitism to comment on the state of contemporary society and the complex relationships that exist within it. At its most basic level, Parasite depicts the Kim family as parasites that leech off the resources of the wealthy Park family. They infiltrate the Park's home by pretending to be skilled workers and eventually become so intertwined with their lives that they are almost impossible to separate. The Parks are completely unaware of the Kim's true intentions and see them only as servants who are providing a service. The dynamic is reminiscent of the parasitic relationship that exists between the ruling class and the working class in most societies. As the film progresses, it becomes clear that the relationship between the Kims and the Parks is not as clear-cut as it initially appears. The Kims begin to develop genuine affection for the Parks, and their parasitic behavior becomes more complicated as a result. They begin to feel a sense of guilt for the way they are deceiving the Parks, and they struggle to reconcile their desire for the Park's wealth and their own sense of morality. It is truly emblematic of the class system that Korea and many other countries function by. Neither side is depicted as the good guys, and I think that is one of the most interesting parts about it. We can feel empathy for both families, and what makes this film so special is the audience's ability to relate to all the characters. The last thing that I want to talk about is the ending. It truly is a complex and ambiguous ending that has sparked many interpretations and debates amongst critics and audiences alike. The climax of the film comes when the Kim family's plan to infiltrate and exploit the wealthy Park family is exposed, leading to a violent confrontation that leaves the father of the Park family dead. In the aftermath, Ki Tae-ik hides in the basement bunker. The film's final act centers around the efforts of the surviving Kim family members to escape and start a new life. The first element to consider is the symbolism of the rain that permeates the final act of the film. The rain serves as a motif for the cleansing and purging of the social economic injustices that the film has been exploring. However, it also represents the inescapable nature of the social structures that trap the Kim family and prevent them from fully breaking free. The second element to consider is the symbolism of the rock that was given to the Kim family by Ki-woo's friend at the beginning of the film. The rock is presented as a symbol of good luck and wealth, and throughout the film, it serves as a talisman for the Kim family's aspirations for upward mobility. However, in the final act, the rock becomes a literal and metaphorical weapon, and ultimately leads to the downfall of the family's plans. The third element to consider is the question of who the real parasite is in the film. Throughout the narrative, the Kim family is presented as the parasitic force, leeching off the wealth and resources of the Park family. However, in the final act, it becomes clear that the Park family's dependence on the labor and services of the Kim family is equally parasitic, and the social and economic inequalities that allow for such exploitation are the true parasites. The final shot of the film, which shows Ki-woo writing a letter to his father, is a powerful and enigmatic one. Some interpret this as a sign of hope and resilience, suggesting that the Kim family will find a way to survive and overcome the obstacles that have been placed in their way. But I saw it as a more cynical and fatalistic statement, suggesting that the cycle of poverty and exploitation is destined to continue, and that the only hope for change lies in the complete destruction and reconstruction of the social and economic structures that enable it. Overall, the ending of Parasite is a complex and multi-layered one that invites multiple interpretations and readings. It truly is a testament to the skill and artistry of director Bong Joon-Ho that the film is able to explore such weighty themes with nuance and subtlety, and that it is able to leave such a lasting impression on its audiences. This film is truly special. I could probably make a ton of videos about this movie, relating to the music, the performances, and other artistic designs. It has a really special place in my heart, and I'll forever be proud that I predicted that this movie would win the best Oscar at least 4 months before the Oscars came about. Man, it felt good knowing that when I had seen that movie for the first time, I just knew that it would be a movie that would change cinema. It would solidify itself as one of the best films ever made, at least in my humble opinion. And when me and Brandon got together that one time, and we saw that Parasite won 4 Oscars, including the Best Picture, that truly was a remarkable and memorable experience for me. I'll never forget it. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. This video might be pretty long, so I'm glad if you stuck through to the end. Thank you. Let me know some of your thoughts about the film and whether or not you connected to any of the scenes or characters throughout the movie. Leave a like if you enjoyed. It really shows me that you guys are interested and that you enjoy the content, so also subscribe. I got a lot more videos coming. You should check out the previous video I did on John Wick. That one was a really good one. Or go watch the one I did on Everything Everywhere All at Once. That one was a really fun one to make. It seems like you guys do enjoy the content. I mean, when I posted my last video, I only had like 350 subscribers. And at the time of recording this one, I have 450. So I went up a whole 100 subscribers in 1 week, which is crazy. For how long I've been doing this, that's pretty insane. You guys are the best. And once again, thanks for watching. My name is Matt, and this is Understanding Cinema. Peace!